I am Gary Blievernicht. I'm the Director of Engineering at WKAR at Michigan State University. WKAR Public Media at Michigan State University is the first public broadcaster granted an experimental ATSC 3.0 license by the FCC. WKAR and the College of Communication Arts and Sciences at Michigan State University has opened the Media Innovation Lab. Researchers from across MSU, the PBS system, and private industry will come together to study outcomes related to education and public media content. WKAR was granted the ATSC 3.0 experimental license on June 30th of 2018. FCC Commissioner Michael O'Reilly visited WKAR to make the announcement. It was his first visit to a public television station. Capitalizing on MSU's expertise in early childhood education and building on the WKAR Family Initiative, one of the first projects planned for the Media Innovation Lab will focus on the use of ATSC 3.0 to improve early childhood education, focusing on ATSC 3.0's applications that are central to the core values of non-commercial television licensees, education, and the betterment of our communities. The Playtime Pad project investigates the effectiveness of tablet-based learning initiatives in early childhood math and literacy. Kindergarten students across the Lansing School District receive a tablet for math-based games and explorations. Researchers study how the tablets are used and the effects on learning. Partners include the Michigan State University College of Communication Arts and Sciences, WKAR Public Media, PBS Kids, MSU College of Education, and the Lansing School District. MSU and WKAR are forming similar partnerships and research projects in studying the applications of Next Generation TV, ATSC 3.
Are you feeling curious?
Yes!
Are you guys having fun this morning?
Curious Crew started when Susie Elkins saw me present doing a keynote, and she had a brainstorm.
I saw him get an award, and the parents treated him like a rock star. They just loved that he was able to inspire a love for science in their children, and it was that inspired me to want to make a show with him.
What do you notice?
Gosh, this is crazy.
What do you know?
Being on the show with Dr. Rob is really cool.
Oh, that was awesome!
I have the reputation of doing a lot of hands-on investigations.
Oh, yes!
A lot of the experiments are really simple stuff you'd have lying around in your kitchen or in a craft room, and it's using those materials to teach these different concepts.
Oh, that was good!
Ultimately, we want the kids to work through science and engineering practices, what scientists actually do to be able to understand the concepts that we're exploring.
You do a science experiment to see what happens, meaning a quote-unquote failure is also a result too.
Whenever we have a project like this and things don't go well, what would we do? Redesign it, absolutely right.
Being on Curious Cure made me realize that science is all around us.
Science isn't boring, it's fun.
We get some fizzy action!
Rob's passion for science is contagious.
Dr. Rob has a lot of energy on set.
Energy in motion!
That energy, it transfers to the cast members.
Curious Crew has a roadshow element as well, and we'll go to schools, we'll go to fairs, we'll go to different events.
I didn't want it to just be 10 shows and we're done. I wanted the children that were involved with it to feel inspired and empowered to go out and talk about their love of science. And we've created curiosity guides, the lesson plan behind each of the investigations in the show. Parents and teachers can download them from the website and use them on their own.
This show really makes science and engineering accessible, and it helps children realize that if this is something they're passionate about, they could do this for a lifetime.
We can have a lot of fun with pulleys, don't you guys think?
Yeah! At the end of every show, we point at the camera and say,
Stay curious!
And keep experimenting.
There's so many ways that science touches our lives, and if you don't stay curious, you could totally miss out on those.
Remember, my friends,
Stay curious
stay curious,
Stay curious.
stay curious.
and keep experimenting.
And keep experimenting.
That's gonna go at the end.
And this is some of the presentations that are handed out or available via the web. Curiosity guides with step-by-step instructions are available for exploring at home via downloads with PDF. And what we're looking at doing with the ATSC 3.0 is to be able to have the viewer click a button and pull up the information on a television screen. That's what we're working on at this point, and we're hoping to be working toward integrating it with the actual transmission and activating it with the playpad or other similar device for a second screen. So that's what we're working toward. The WKAR-TV ATSC 3.0 signal actually went on the air on September 1st, and we're operating on channel 35. We have 70 kilowatts effective radiated power. Elliptical is directional. The transmitter power output is at 14 kilowatts. Side mounted at 500 feet. Our partners in putting this all together were Comark Digital Services and Trevini. The antenna is an ERI. It's a mini broadband panel. You see it there on its way to the tower, as it was installed during part of our repack. We had 2 transmitters before we repacked. We had 2 transmitters after the repack. We took one of those 2 and added a mask filter in order to operate on a different channel than we'd been assigned. So we're operating on channel 35 with the experimental, and channel 33 is our main broadcast channel. Interconnection is with an SAF microwave system, 4 VLANs, ATSC 1.0, ATSC 3.0. We have our radio station and available space. We're getting about 160 megabits of throughput on the microwave. The equipment that we put into our origination center is the Attend Titan encoder, Trevini's guide builder, the Genesis scheduler. We also have network switches for data and control. The monitoring is with a Trevini stream scope. We have 3 signals that we're transmitting. The PLP0 includes WKAR-TV's program schedule plus PBS Kids, and both those are in high definition. PLP1 is WKAR Create. PLP2 is WKAR World. And that's me. And now I'm available for questions. Don't all rush. Hi, question? Yes, question. Okay.
Sir? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, hi. Marcel Dish Network. Nice to meet you, Gary. A question, I was wondering, are there 1 or 2 things that are sort of key lessons learned so far through the experimental broadcast, the experience with ATSC3 that you could comment on?
It took us about a week to get the technology working. We had manufacturers representatives coming in from each of these companies as we proofed through this, and we ran into about 2 days of delay with the way that the exciter was set up. There was like a super secret setting that had to be changed that would enable it to transmit a default pattern. If it wasn't talking to the scheduler, it would do a default pattern. And it took us for a while to figure out where that setting was to be able to have the scheduler control the exciter. That was really the only problem we had in setting this up. Well, we haven't gotten any data transmissions with it yet either.
How much did it all cost?
Approximately $300,000, not including what we'd purchased for the repack. So
Okay.
after the transmitter, then we purchased the microwave had already been purchased separately because we had to replace our aging Newcom system. So we'd already bought the microwave, so that wasn't part of the project. So the exciter had to be modified. We had to have the Comark's field service come out and take care of that part and do the new proof of performance and the installation of the mask filter that came from ERI, and then about $300,000.
Thank you.
Dish Network getting into that business?
Well, we very good question. I think today, whether it's on our satellite traditional pay TV service or our IPTV service, which we call Sling TV, we use ATSC 1.0 OTA capabilities to complement those experiences. In some cases, offer customers more choice. So, a Dish Network satellite TV customer, for example, has the choice. They can have us come out and put up an OTA antenna and wire it off and integrate it into all their TVs and their main DVR, and they save $12 a month because then they don't have to pay us for the retransmission satellite delivered local channels, so to speak, right? And then with regards to ATSC 3, I think we do have some spectrum. We have quite a bit of spectrum, but we have some, namely at the 700 megahertz, 722 to 728, that could be applicable for an ATSC 3 use case.
It could.
If not, anything and everything in between, and namely return channel path and the need to have some kind of return communication, whether it be just a small data packet or for billing or on demand or security authentication, etc. We can support it in some shape or form, either through our narrowband IoT network that we're launching next year, or we have this thing called satellite. We can hit a button and it can hit everybody across the country. So,
All righty, neat.
Yeah.
Thank you.